I'm Elizabeth Christine, and I live here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, close to the center of the Earth Treasure Mandala, located in the Tawa world of the Pueblo people. And I welcome each of you in the light of this full moon as we gather to offer prayers for the protection and healing of Gaia, for all beings within the web of life. The Earth Treasure Vase tradition comes to us through a lineage from Tibet, where many centuries ago the guru Padmasambhava revealed this terma as a remedy for healing earth and removing the suffering in times of degeneration. This practice of bearing earth treasure vases for the purpose of restoring vitality within the essence of the elements, for increasing wisdom within all beings, and for removing the obstacles to long life, was passed to Cynthia Jers in 1990. At that time, Cynthia was given an opportunity to travel to Nepal and take a several-day trek into the high mountains to visit the 106-year-old Tibetan Buddhist Lama Sharak Rinpoche, who lived in a cave in a remote region of Nepal. On her way up the mountain in deep reflection, Cynthia wondered what to ask the Lama once she reached him. She carried a deep concern over how humanity could handle mounting nuclear waste. And in the shadow of the nuclear age, she saw insight on how to bring healing and protection to the earth. Under the direction of Charak Rinpoche and with the help of Lama Sultram, earth treasure vases were crafted with sacred medicines in the monasteries of Nepal. With the first 30 vases, Cynthia started this aspect of the earth treasure vase practice. And tonight we gather under the light of the full moon in Aquarius. This is the fourth super full moon in a row, when the moon exerts a greater gravitational pull on the tectonic plates of Earth. This, along with powerful planetary alignments, is serving our awakening process. Rupturing energy, which causes increasing instability, is also providing us with physical and consciousness upgrades. So as we ride this powerful wave of change, our mindfulness practice of turning inward to focus on the breath, grounding within the present moment, creates an anchor of peace and centered power within the turbulence we are experiencing. Joining together to amplify an enlightened frequency while articulating our visions and prayers is of the utmost importance. The cosmos is supplying dynamic support for the creation of new systems and networks of community living. We will begin this full moon listening to stories of the pilgrimage to bury the third generation Earth Treasure Vase dedicated by Kat VanHammen to the Great Lakes region, which was planted above Lake Michigan on July 30th. Then Stephen Comee, a member of our guiding council and the person responsible for planting the Earth Treasure Vase in Fukushima, will lead us in the guided meditation from his home in Japan, accompanied by Julian Silburn on the Didgeridoo in Australia. And then, following the meditation, we will open the circle to receive prayers into the third generation Earth Treasure Vase, which is being planted right now as we meet with each other. It is being planted by Wendy Dudley up in Alberta, Canada. And due to COVID restrictions, Wendy was unable to attend the Ghost Ranch retreat where the third generation vases were crafted. So I partnered with her and crafted a vase which is imbued with her intentions. And she and the vase are currently in a high pass of the Canadian Rockies in Alberta, home to grizzly bears, mountain sheep, elk, deer, cougars, and wolves. And these mountain passes are also a corridor for migrating golden eagles and the hunting grounds of the Nakota, also known as the Stoney Nation people. Wendy dedicated this Earth Treasure Vase to healing our human relationship with Gaia, with both the natural world and the indigenous people who are the original caretakers. Wendy is up on the northern end of the Rocky Mountain Range, and the center of the mandala here in New Mexico is on the southern end of the Rocky Mountain Range. And Wendy works closely with an Andean medicine man, Puma Freddy Quispe Signona. And through ceremony with Puma, this Earth Treasure Vase has been activated to work along the whole song line, known to his people as the backbone of Mother Earth, which runs through the Rocky Mountains, along the Sierra Madres in Central America, and all the way down through the Andes to the tip of South America. So during our meditation, allow your prayer for the healing of our human relationship with Gaia to rise to consciousness. And while holding awareness of Wendy in the Canadian Rockies, let us bring our attention to the Great Lakes Earth Treasure Vase, which was planted on July 30th in the dunes high above Lake Michigan. I invite Kat VanHammen, Liza Jane Alexander, and Laurelyn Baker to share some of the richness of their week-long pilgrimage to plant this vase. So beginning with Kat. You're still muted, Kat.
Sorry about that. Hello, everybody. Greetings from the land of the three fires, the Ojibwe or Chippewa, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi people. And I'm here close to Lake Michigan in the Kalamazoo River. And on the last full moon, I gave the story thus far about this treasure vase. So I'm going to just start with the week when, by wonderful blessings, Liza Jane and Laurelyn were able to come from Tennessee and Boulder, Colorado, and join me. And we are sisters in the third generation vases. That the journey began together on Sunday when Liza Jane arrived. And the next day I took her out to the location where the general location where the vase was going to be. And it's on the top. We hiked to the top of a dune, and that's when you get your first sight of Lake Michigan, which she had never seen. So that was very exciting. We were greeted up there by monarch butterflies. And I just want to say that shortly after I signed up for the retreat, a monarch butterfly, nothing wrong with it, was dead in one of my flower vases, flower planters. And I took it in and put it on my altar, and it's been on my altar with the vase the whole time. And that monarch stayed pristine and ended up being the very last thing that went into the box when we buried the vase. So I just want to start with that because there's a lot of animal participation in this space. And we're all tuned into that. So that was really wonderful. So monarch butterfly was very present the whole time. And every single day that Liza and Laurelyn were here, we saw monarchs every single day. And I continue to see them. So anyway, Liza came and then we went up there. And also that day, I walked out the door of my house when we were going to go to the lake for the first time, and there was a snake outside my door. And then when Liza and I were hiking up the trail to go to the beach, there was a hognose snake right on the trail, right in the middle. And the hognose snake had, I think, just shed its skin because the colors were very vibrant. And we also, took that as a wonderful blessing of the snakes. And then, so it was a beautiful time to interact with the lake and go in the water, which was just incredible and warm and beautiful. And then Laurelyn arrived on Tuesday, and Tuesday night, and we picked her up from the airport and we drove out. It was just sunset when we arrived, and we went right out to the lake at the sunset time, and it was just so beautiful. And the spirit and energy of the three of us coming together was so beautiful and so loving and sweet the whole week. It was just such a blessing to have these sisters there and be part of this. And then the next day we went to the lake again and took Laurelyn, and it was her first time seeing the lake, and she has relatives, ancestral relatives from the region. So it was a really big thing to be with her, be present with her in that time of seeing the lake and stepping into the water. And that was such a beautiful moment. So we definitely have had a lot of wonderful time at the water, in the lake, going and swimming and so forth. And then the next day, on Thursday, when I first got the treasure vase, or when I first signed up for the treasure vase, I had two intentions. One was to connect with the Native people here, to have prayers put in the vase from the Native people. And the other one was to connect with water walkers, which are a group of women who walk around the Great Lakes in prayer. And so the first one was met pretty quickly. I met Jonathan Reinhardt, and I ended up doing many sweat lodges with him, prayer lodges. And he did a special on Thursday night. He did a special prayer lodge for Liza Jane and Laurelyn and I. And he was this was Thursday night, and on Saturday he was leaving to go dance the Sundance in North Dakota. So we also got to pray for him, for his Sundance, and in the lodge. And when we came out of the lodge, he gave us a double blessing because he smoked the pipe and he blew the smoke into the Earth Treasure Vase, which I had brought. And I had previously done a sweat with the community there, and we did the Earth Treasure Vase meditation and said prayers. So that community put the prayers in the previous time. And then the vase was outside. And then this time I just brought the vase, and we opened it up after, and he blew smoke into it. So it got a double blessing there. And it was so beautiful. And there was a lot of bear medicine appeared in that lodge. And maybe Laurelyn will tell you more about that. But that was just so beautiful. And Jonathan really embraced the treasure vase very, very much. And he often, when I was in the lodge with him, he would make special prayers for me as the carrier of the treasure vase and the work that was being done. And it was a great acknowledgement and really, really a blessing. And then on Friday, I had gathered together a group of 9 women. Well, that included us. And a few weeks before, so I hadn't connected with the water walkers because of COVID and all this reason. It was just difficult. A few weeks before, my husband said, call my friend Nance. You need to call Nance because she's a water protector. She was at Standing Rock and she's working on line 5 up in the Mackinac. And, you know, she's doing this work and she would be great to be part of the Treasure Vase. So I contacted Nance and it turned out she's a water walker and she had walked over 300 miles with, and it's a lot of older indigenous women, and she's indigenous from Mexico. So she's not a local, but she's so committed to the lakes and she's done all this work. And for her, it was an incredible. And so anyway, and when the water walkers walk, they have a copper pot and it's full of the waters from all the Great Lakes. And then each of the women had a little vial that they carried right next to their heart when they walked. So Nance came on Friday with her vial of water that she walked with her heart, by her heart, from all the lakes, and she offered that into the vase. And that was one of my intentions, and it just got fulfilled at the last minute, just through my husband, like, you know. And then another fantastic connection was that when I wrote, I don't know if everyone knows, but when I wrote about the first part of this journey, and I talked about meeting Jonathan Reinhardt and his wife Michelle, who, you know, who do the lodges, Marion called Elizabeth and said, these are my relatives that Kat met. So Marion and knows Jonathan and Michelle. They came out for her husband's funeral ceremony. And so Marion was so thrilled that I had met, out of all the people that I had a relationship with and made a relationship with, it was her relatives. And that was such an amazing connection. And I tell you, that one really felt good. Like, I just love that because I felt like it brought Marion so much joy. And she wrote to me and I wrote to her about it. And, you know, so that was just a joyful, wonderful connection. And then, so then we did the ceremony and the final prayers for the vase on Friday night, and we had a fire, and we did some other ceremony, and then we sealed the vase. We sealed the vase with the wax and the sealing wax, but we didn't put it in the box. My husband had made a beautiful cedar box for the vase. And so the next day, Saturday, Laurelyn and Liza and I did another ceremony where we placed the vase in the box, and we had a lot of sacred items that went with it. And the final item was this monarch butterfly. And then we closed the box. And then we went to the lake that evening. And I had bought a special little shovel that was collapsible. And we went in silence up there. And that you hike through, there are woods that grow on the dunes. So anyway, you walk through the woods on the dunes, and then there's a main trail, and there's lots of little trails that go off that are unofficial, that go up to this spot where I wanted to go. And I didn't know which trail we would take. So we're walking in silence, and there at the head of the trail was a lot of feathers. An owl had killed a bird and left feathers. So we, in silence, picked up all these feathers and we went up that trail. And then we went and we found the location, and we all pretty quickly found it and agreed on it. And when we went down, I'm going to show you pictures in just a second here. When we went, we kind of went down the back of the dune because it's more stable there with the forest. And it's surrounded with oaks, pine, and maple trees, but a lot of oaks. And so we were at the spot, and a barred owl started to hoot, and Laurelyn brought her pipe out to do a pipe ceremony, and a barred owl started hooting, and it hooted the whole time during that ceremony. And I think that owl is what left us those feathers as well. And then we were trying to dig the hole, but there was a problem with the shovel. But because it's sand, the three of us were just digging with our hands, and we felt like we were turtles, like mother turtles. We were all digging in the sand with our hands, and we dug this hole with our hands, and the hole had lots of little roots coming into it, like really thin little roots, and it was really beautiful. And then we took all those feathers that we picked up, and we put them all around in the inside of the hole. And so it was these roots and these feathers, and it was so beautiful. And then we put after the pipe ceremony, a deer came and stood up above us and watched us. It was in between us and the lake in the west. And the deer watched us bury the vase. And we put it in the ground and we buried it. And it was so beautiful. And it was so amazing. And it was just such a blessing, the whole thing. And a beautiful, beautiful time. So that's the story. Maybe Rasul, you can show a couple pictures. I just want people to get an idea of where the vase is. So there's 3 pictures. That is actually the location where the vase is buried. Right there, right in there, in that area. So of course we covered it up. You can't tell where it was buried. And then the next one. This is the view from the top of the dune where the monarch butterflies were flying around. You can see there's some milkweed plants way up there, and that's the lake in the background, the Lake Michigan. So you come up this trail, and then there it is. Like, that's your view. You get this. You can't really tell so much from here, but it really goes downhill. That's the downward side of the dune we're looking at, and we're looking out over the lake. And then there's one more. And then if you walk straight down there, this is where you're at. You're at the beach. And I just wanted you to see what that's like. So, there you can see what part of a dune right there. The dunes are quite big. So that's the picture, just so you get an idea of where it's at. So it's a really beautiful place. So that's my part of the story.
Thank you, Kat.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now we'll hear from Liza Jane.
It has been said that in a single drop of water, the entirety of the 10,000 realms is instantly realized. 3 sisters of the 3rd generation of Earth Treasure Vases came together with our different ways of seeing and moving through the world and became one. A mother turtle digging a sandy hole, nesting for Gaia and for all beings. Treasures were shared: elemental, qigong, water, waves, wind, fire, smoke, heat, earth, breath, prayers, plant medicines, flowers, squash, trees, paths, stones of ancestors, and stones of lightning, stars, gifts extended. Ah, the joys of generosity. Dreams and stories, listening to the stars and visions of healing starlight, offerings made, mantras chanted, smoke directed, cedar exchanged, prayers, so many prayers. Our guides and witnesses, sandhill crane, monarch butterfly, bear, turtle, cock, jay, crow, cuckoo, hognose snake, blue ghost fireflies, bald-faced hornet, barred owl, songbird, white-tailed deer, our own trembling hearts held in creation. Ceremony, pipe carriers, lodge holder, fire tender, family, water protectors and water walkers, mother drum, women's fire, the vase. Our time together was so beautifully curated. For all of this, I am so grateful. I extend the arms of love to you, Kat. You held so much in stewarding this vase. Thank you, Kat, for the beauty you bring. And thank you, Laurelyn, for your generosity, love, and trust. And for the Earth Treasure Vase lineage. And for you, dear Cynthia, I give thanks. And I'd like to thank myself for courage, for childlike wonder, and for surrounding myself, for filling my life with people of great heart, for all that I have spoken and for all that remains unspoken. May this tiny vessel continue to radiate the healing and protection of the Great Lakes that has been activated this year throughout space and time. Isn't it wonderful? Alalaho.
Alalaho, aho, aho.
Wow. Thank you so much, Liza Jane. Okay, now Laurelyn.
Greetings, everyone, from the land of the Arapaho and Ute here in Boulder, Colorado. I'm Anishinaabe, or Chippewa, who has relatives on my father's side from the Great Lakes area. But I haven't ever gone. I've spent a lot of my time in the South, you know, the Southwest area, mainly around New Mexico and Colorado and Arizona. So any opportunity that I get to travel north, I always take it, but it hadn't led me to the lakes yet. So if anyone ever has any doubt that when you are with the right people and you keep your ears open and you listen to what they have to say, don't doubt it, because I heard Stephen just say, hey, I believe, and this is Stephen Comee from Japan, who is here with us tonight. I heard him say in a meeting that we had, there is some kind of a connection between the base that I had been holding that was originally intended for Antarctica that has now become the BC, the British Columbia, Vancouver base, and the one that Kat's carrying in Saugatuck Dunes for the Great Lakes. And it was like a bolt of lightning. His words were just so clear. I didn't even think, I didn't hesitate about it. I just went, there is, and I'm going to find out what that connection is. And so the next thing I know, Elizabeth Christine had called Kat and said, you should call Laurelyn. And she did. And I instantly think I invited myself. I'm like, guess what? I'm coming to your place. And if I ever had any doubts before about the truth of the peace and harmony that the treasure vase mandala creates, I am completely convinced that I experienced when I stepped into that line of the mandala with these vases and these people, Kat and Liza Jane and Jonathan and all of the beautiful women from that area who came, the water walkers. I was in a little 5-day encapsulation of how life really should be on earth and can be when we are with beautiful, wise people who have spent their life observing nature and how to co-create beauty with it and how to hold the vision for future generations and how to just make life delicious. Oh my gosh, Kat and Liza Jane, it was like being at the Airbnb of the goddess, being with you. It was a beautiful setting, a home built with love by Kat's husband, beautiful, amazing, healthy, gorgeous food from gardens and from bakeries and from goat creameries and oils from lavender gardens. And just, we were just so blessed that I had no doubt that the calling that I heard was correct and that I am on the right path. And what she said about the bear and the lodge, when Jonathan did the lodge for us, first of all, I've never been in a lodge that someone did for just 3 people. I was really amazed and overwhelmed with gratitude. And then I found out it was even better than usual because he brought in a gorgeous, shiny, midnight black, silky bear rug and allowed me to sit in the middle of it. And that was really an honor. And the healing was profound. And I got that. And so that's why they have both referenced bear medicine coming in. The next day, Liza Jane found some bear root and just 3 bags of it in this beautiful little herbal shop. And I'd been looking for that since before the pandemic, and it's a little bit more rare, but all of a sudden we had this with us. And so we drank some of the tea and I shared some teachings with them about the healing of bear. So that was with the vase as well. And being of Turtle Clan and being able to really, we did sort of turn into turtles. It was just so obvious when we had our paws, our claws going into the sand. It was the most lovely thing. So I just want to just say again that everyone have faith that this is one of many paths that can remind us what life can be when we open up to all the beauty and wisdom, and that we can share it and multiply it through this practice as well as others that are peace and love and life nurturing. So just Chimagwitch from the bottom of my heart for all the blessings that were spoken of and all those that remain to be seen.
Oh, Matakayase. Oh, you son.
Wow. Thank you, Laurelyn. Thank you, thank you. Ooh, let's just take a few deep breaths and be with that beautiful story. And now we'll carry our gratitude into the meditation that Stephen Comee will lead us through, and Julian will join him with the didgeridoo. And we just ask that during the meditation, you turn off your video and get comfortable and focus fully on your breath within the Earth Treasure Vase mandala.
So let's begin by taking a few deep breaths in and out. Breathing in and out deeply, slowly. Feel your body relax. Sense the ground beneath you, holding you, offering stability and calm. Your roots reaching deep down into the earth. Breathing in, drawing up through your taproot the nourishing energies and life force of Mother Earth, which she gives freely, generously to you. And breathing out, letting thoughts of the past and concerns for the future melt away. And from this place of being deeply rooted in the earth, open up to the light of the sun and moon and stars. Allow your consciousness to expand as you connect with the vast energies of the cosmos. Rooted below, connected above, breathing here and now. In this present moment, in this special place, let us acknowledge the ancestors, the original indigenous peoples of the lands we inhabit, who have been in sacred relationship with our lands for countless generations, and humbly invite all of them to bless us and our practice. Let us also call upon all of our own ancestors, elders, teachers and guides, lineage masters, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, angels and archangels, and all the holy wisdom beings that we feel connected to, and invite them all to be present with us now. Invite their blessings to enter you and everyone who is present for this meditation, and receive the blessing of their love, support, guidance, healing, and clarity. As this blessing enters you, feel this love and caring coming all the way into your deepest heart of hearts. Breathe it in, and breathing out, send this love to everyone who is present in this circle. And breathing in, receive the love that is being sent. Breathing in and out, receiving and sending. Gradually expand your focus to include all of your friends, family, and community, and all of those whom this practice may serve. Imagine our circle gradually growing from our home, neighborhood, bioregion, country, continent, to include all beings in all places everywhere, blessing the whole planet with our love. Now, with these waves of love flowing from your heart, turn your awareness to those who are suffering, to the places where there is war, poverty, disease, pollution, droughts, floods, or fires. Anywhere the need for healing is very great. Breathe in that suffering, and as you breathe out, send your love and caring to relieve the suffering of the earth, her people, and of all life, all around the whole planet. Imagine that where there is hunger, great nourishing gardens begin to grow. Where there is thirst, fresh, clean waterways spring up. Where there is homelessness, safe shelters are built. Where there is war and conflict, choirs of peace echo in the hills. Where there is sickness, vital health is celebrated. And where the earth is unstable, in danger, or out of balance in any way, imagine restored power bringing protection and regeneration, and hear the songlines of the land sing in great harmonies. Now see the generosity and reciprocity in communities of life flowing freely, and envision the beauty and riches of nature flowering into abundance for the sustenance of life, revitalizing this radiant blue-green planet we call home. And as we hold this glowing vision of Mother Earth, we call into our awareness all of the Earth Treasure Vases that have been planted or are in the process of being planted all around the world. Let us imagine that together we are pouring our love and caring in the form of light into each and every little vase being buried in the body of Mother Earth, filling each vase with our deepest prayers and blessings for healing. Imagine each Earth Treasure Vase radiating the light in every direction, sending healing and protective energies wherever needed, in whatever form needed. See the light like a rainbow streaming forth from each of the vases, and breathing in and breathing out, allow the feeling of caring and compassion in your heart of hearts to grow. Send that love out as light to all the people, animals, plants, and places that are connected to the Earth Treasure Vases that need healing and protection in the past, in the present, and in the future. Beginning at the center of the Earth Treasure Vase Global Healing Mandala in a cave above Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico, the birthplace of the atomic bomb. And to the north, at the source of the Rio Grande River in Creede, Colorado. To the south, at the mouth of the Rio Grande at the Gulf of Mexico. To the east, on top of Mount Baldy above Santa Fe. And to the west, on Mount Chicuma, known as Sicabo to the Tawa people of New Mexico, the custodians of the sacred lands where this mandala began. And now, having established the center and the four directions, see the mandala growing in every direction. To the Indian Point Nuclear Reservation on the Hudson River in New York. To the headwaters old-growth redwood forest in Northern California. The Punta Cometa on the coast of Oaxaca, Mexico. Vilcabamba, Ecuador. Jakova, Kosovo. The Lawrence Laboratory at the University of California, Berkeley. The Taodum Forest on the border of Thailand and Burma. The village of Ein Karem in Israel, Palestine. Hiroshima, Japan. The cloisters in New York City after 9/11. The Biosphere 2 in Oracle, Arizona. The Martin Luther King Freedom Center in Oakland, California. The source of the Ganges in India. The source of the Amazon in Peru. The Southern Pacific Ocean, 93 degrees down in Egom Atoll, the Trobriand Island, Papua New Guinea. The Arctic Circle, Alaska. The Kogi lands of the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, Colombia. Talawayan Village, Lofa County, Wendjama District, Liberia, West Africa. The Blyde River Canyon, Limpopo Province, South Africa. The Giza Plateau, Egypt. Haleakala, Maui, Hawaii. The Itombwe Forest, South Kivu Province, Democratic Republic of Congo. Avebury, England. Bindaluk, Jawon County, Northern Territory, Australia. And the second generation of Earth Treasure Vases. In Gabanmang, Arnhem Land, Australia. The Mackenzie King Park, Ottawa Gatineau, Canada. The original garden in Findhorn, Scotland. The Great Stupa of Bodhnath in Kathmandu, Nepal. The Flint Hills of Kansas. The Santa Cruz Mountains near Silicon Valley, California. The Valles Caldera of northern New Mexico. Purnalulu, Bungle Bungles, the Kimberleys, Australia. The village of Utqiagvik in northernmost Arctic Alaska. The Hanford Nuclear Reservation in the state of Washington. Mount Ryozen above Fukushima, Japan. Back to where it all began at the cave hermitage of Charak, Nepal. To Maragibi County, Liberia. On Dithihul Mountain in the Bundawang Wilderness of Walbunja County, Yuin Nation, southeastern Australia. To Arut Temple, Tolugompa in Nepal. The Munzir Valley in Turkey. Serpent Mound in Ohio. Antarctica. And the first and second, third generation vases that have been planted on the Isle of Lewis in Scotland and in the Saugatuck Dunes of Lake Michigan. Let's also include the 11 vases still waiting their destination and the Earth Treasure Vases being stewarded now to southwestern Australia, New Zealand, the Bering Strait in Russia, Delphi in Greece, the Ashaninka lands of the Amazon forest in Brazil, Korea, Arhuaco territory in Colombia, a vase dedicated to healing racism in the USA, to Washington, D.C., to Italy, and to British Columbia, and in the Rocky Mountains of Alberta, Canada, which is in the process of being now as we speak, as we meditate. And finally, the third generation of Earth Treasure Vases, now in the hands of the stewards who crafted them, including the one that is being buried now in Alberta, Canada. Now, once again, take a deep, slow in-breath. And let's have a deep, slow out-breath. And imagine all that is needed to relieve the suffering of the earth can be seen as light radiating out from each of the Earth Treasure Vases all around the whole planet in every direction. Imagine this healing light flowing out from the vases, filling the whole global Earth Treasure Vase mandala with the powerful energies of our love and caring. See this healing force traveling through the songlines and meridians of the earth, flowing into each location on the global mandala. See the mandala like a web of light embracing the whole planet. Feel the light flowing back and forth like waves from your heart to the Earth Treasure Vases, energizing them and adding vitality and brilliance to the light that is flowing out to the whole area in the sphere of influence on each of the Earth Treasure Vases. Now imagine this light flowing into your own location, your special spot in nature, and feel the collective spiritual intelligence of the entire global Earth Treasure Vase mandala, activating your node on the mandala, excuse me, and entering you as a holy vessel. Finally, focus your concentration one-pointedly on bringing healing and protection to the whole earth for all time. See the healing and protection radiating out from all the vases all around the earth in waves of purifying light, flowing back and forth endlessly. And imagine that the healing is accomplished and the vitality of the earth is completely restored. And now, recognizing the great interconnected web that is life on Earth, of which we each are a part, let us give thanks for this precious, sacred time, and pray that the compassion and peace that is our true condition may bring supreme happiness and benefit to the earth and to all beings. With another deep, slow in-breath and a deep, slow out-breath, please bring your awareness back to your body, feeling your feet on the floor, grounded on the earth in your own location, and taking a deep breath, open your eyes and return to the circle for sharing.
Mm. 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 Now we will open the circle for prayers for the healing of our human relationship with Earth. And many of us have rich and touching stories which draw forth our heartfelt prayers. And for the benefit of our circle tonight, we invite you to save your story and share it on the Gaia Mandala. And we do love to read what has moved your life. But for tonight, for our circle, we ask that you formulate the essence of your prayer into a potent seed form, offering it directly into the Earth Treasure Vase, which Wendy is preparing to plant into Gaia. And Wendy calls this Earth Treasure Vase, we will be sending our prayers into Tawa, which in the Peruvian Quiche language means 4 directions. So now I invite you to fly on the wings of the eagle to join Wendy in a mountain meadow along the Highwood River near the Continental Divide in the Rocky Mountains, at the northern point of the backbone of Mother Earth. And sitting together in a circle under the August full moon, a hole has been prepared to receive Tawa into Gaia to take her place in the Earth Treasure Vase mandala. Imagine this precious vase is now being passed hand to hand around our circle. When it is your turn to pray, take a moment to feel Tawa in your hands. Feel the power of the medicines within her. Then speak your seed prayer directly into the vase, knowing your prayer will soon be planted to grow within Gaia's beloved body. So the circle is now open. Please raise your hand if you'd like to receive Tawa into your hands. Hmm. Juan, welcome.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I I am joining all of you here in Montana at the Garden of 1,000 Buddhas. It's a Tibetan practice place, and here you see Prajna Paramita, the culmination of wisdom and compassion, emptiness and action. And this place where I am is sacred of tribes of this area. This is the Jocko River watershed, which is a tributary to the yeah, it's a tributary to some other river that I'm not remembering right now, but it is a powerful place where wisdom and compassion are melded, and the swallows are circling about the mandala, the Dharma chakra here. And I am offering the prayer that all of this turning wheel is empowered through our prayer to healing and to reconciliation, into empowerment for all beings to live in right relationship. We are the power, and we invoke the power, and we celebrate the power of this great wisdom and compassion. And thank you for planting this vase along the Cordillera of the Great Rocky Mountain, and may all the blessings that we all want to see and all the healing, may it be so. Aho. Matagayase. Oyesan.
Thank you, Juan. I would like to request that you may also raise your physical hand, and we will see it in case you may not know how to raise your hand virtually. And we will welcome your voice in seeing you do so. Thank you. Yes, Lynn.
You're still muted. Can you unmute yourself down in the bottom
I
right?
think, am I unmuted now?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I will just ask that there be perfect healing for the planet and all beings on the planet, including all flora and fauna globally, and that this prayer be put into the vase and in everybody's consciousness, and that all causes of global warming be resolved, and that the earth be brought back to its proper equanimity.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
China, I noticed that you unmuted yourself a few moments ago. Did you want to share?
Thank you so much. No, I was listening, but I will take a moment to just express enormous gratitude to Julian, Cynthia, everyone in this circle, and the beauty and care and love and thought, deep planting of the turtle nest, of the vase in the turtle nest. Thank you so much. You've fed my soul tonight. May I do the same for you one day?
Yes, caraway seed. Would you like to share? I see your hand up.
Oh, I think my internet was unstable. Was it my turn?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
Sorry.
Mhm.
go ahead.
Tawa, my prayer is that the dreams of all human beings become perfectly interwoven with the dreams of Mother Earth so that we can change our collective dream and that we may walk again as brothers and sisters with all of our relations, all of the animal beings and all of the plant beings and all of the land beings on the earth, and that our dreams also become interwoven with theirs so that we can work for a common dream of healing and peaceful harmony with each other. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Thank you. Mhm.
Karen, you may go ahead.
Just prior to coming onto the call tonight, I had a session with my chiropractor and had my own spine very much adjusted. And as you were speaking about the Canadian Rockies right now receiving an Earth Treasure Vase along the spine of the Rocky Mountains that I am presently located right here on the spine of the Rocky Mountains here in Colorado, I just sense that our intentions for amplifying all of these prayers has not only a metaphysical aspect to it, but it has a very real physical reality in the very structure running up and down through North America. And whatever we image, whatever we pray, those of you in New Mexico, those of us in Colorado, and really everywhere, just to know that we are physically connected along the very spine of these mountains to Wendy right now with that treasure vase just gives me a great deal of wonder and gratitude. And so may we amplify all of them for her and for Earth.
Thank you, Karen.
Laurelyn, did you want to share?
I would just like to include in this beautiful vase that Wendy is planting today, fierce mama bear love, protection for all beings who require it.
Mm. Mm. Oh. Mm.
Professor Dea, I believe are you there?
Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to speak few words. So I have only to tell that everyone should pray for the word peace, because our earth, all humans and all creatures are very beautiful. We should be kind and we should not be fight, and we should be pray for end of the war, Russian and Ukraine war, because due to that there is a due to the some weapons, there is a heating and global warming all over the world, and our atmosphere and natural environment is destroying. So we should because already we have our mind have disturbed due to this COVID pandemic. So we should pray that God just change our mind to a new creation. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm, mm. Thank you, Dea, for your prayers of peace. Yes.
Judith, you may go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Rasu. Tawa and Wendy, your steward. My prayer is that this vase join joyfully with all the others that we have called upon this evening, that the connection is stronger and amplified a thousandfold by your joining this beautiful mandala. May all of your prayers that have been filled to the brim flow down through the Rockies, all the way through the spine of Mother Earth. Aho.
Mm. Thank you, Judith. Mm.
Kat?
I'm feeling the vase here in my hands, and I'm feeling you, Wendy, so deeply. And I have a vision. The vision for this vase is that the Kundalini rises through the spine of the earth to where you are, the top, and explodes into light. And I can see it in my mind's eye, and the pineal gland is just illuminated and enlivened. And I mean the pineal gland of the earth and all of our pineal glands, that this energy rises from bottom to top and explodes in light. And I see that right now, Wendy, and I see you sitting there in that light with all your animal friends, and I'm sending you all the blessings from my heart. Oh.
Aho. Thank you, Kat.
Ellen?
I'm feeling the vase, and the blessing is more increasing, expanding, conscious relating with the elementals who are so eager to work with humans in restoring the earth.
Mm. Mm. Yes. Mm. Thank
Maggie?
you, Ellen.
Maggie and Ava?
Thank you. I'll move it close for the voice. Tua and Wendy, we are with you. And with all those creature beings that undoubtedly have enormously gathered with you. Wendy, I acknowledge your deep, deep connection with the kingdoms that are there, and can only imagine the force that is surrounding and the tales that will be told as you place this vase. Kat, my vision is something of yours. As the great serpent rides that rocky range, that spine of Mother Earth, my prayer is that the deep dreaming serpent of this land also rises up with that potency of which you also spoke, joining with this spreading force across the planet. And that this represents this deep coming together, this deep union of lands, of forces, of deep red deserts and mounty rock and ranges, of animal kingdoms and plant kingdoms and human kingdoms and spiritual kingdoms, as we all come into this depth of communion, that such a beauteous life can come forward. And Wendy, to our deepest blessings into this placement. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Marilyn?
Yes, hi. Good evening, all. We often put in prayers on these full moon vases for Mother Earth, for all the beautiful non-human life that we are dependent on. And I want to add a prayer for humanity. I want to add a prayer that why can't more of us wake up to our interdependence with each other, with the earth? We are part of the earth. We are dependent on the earth. We are dependent on each other. And I just want to pray that more people will wake up to this realization. And thank you so much for continuing this process of the earth vases. So I hope my prayer will bring more people to awareness. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Leslie?
I would like to offer a heartfelt prayer, continuing this theme of the serpent rising. I see a fierce dragon dancing on the spine of the mountains, being a protector for the forests and the waters and the mountains and the land and the peoples of just beautiful, beautiful British Columbia. It's such a sacred, precious place. And that this vase also, and the dragon dancing, be a protector for the people, so many who are fierce protectors of that place. And may our prayers strengthen the Kundalini dragon energy of the land and of the people to heal and protect and vibrate with the joy and beauty of this place. Oh.
Oh.
Julie?
Hello, I'm Julie from Perth in Western Australia, and my prayers for Tawa and Wendy. I just want to share, I had a little walk in Serpentine National Park the other day and saw 3 echidnas on the trail that I was walking, and very rare to see echidnas in the wild. So I was so blessed. So the beautiful spines of the echidnas as they move into the softness of the belly that lies onto the earth. May the blessings of the echidnas join Tawa and Wendy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Louise.
Hello, Louise, Washington, D.C. I'm in a dark room, so I cannot turn on a camera. I'm sorry. I was seeing this serpent and spine extend all the way down into South America, and I just wanted to acknowledge the naming of Puma, Freddy Quispe Singona, who is such a powerful and joyful teacher, and give a prayer of gratitude for his work and the connection to Wendy and Tawa, and a prayer for the harmonizing of the Americas and the Kundalini that rises from the south to north in our lands of the condor and the eagle. May there be harmony.
Beautiful. Thank you, Louise, for joining
Thank you.
us. Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead, Julian.
Yeah, so yeah, I just really love to send out all this beautiful energy that's been cultivated out to Wendy and Tawa, and to support this treasure vase for the for British Columbia, a place I lived for a while, and just for the maintaining of the pristine wilderness areas, all the habitats, the ecosystem, for it to be protected, and protecting all the habitats and the sanctuaries of all the different beings of light. I just like to sing a little bit. While I was there, I connected with a native Canadian man, and yeah, a song came from that connection to do with the eagle, and it's about this eagle connection and the freedom that the eagle represents. Spirit of the eagle, fly so high, way up in the sky, over the mountains and over the sea. Spirit of the eagle lives free, lives free. Spirit of the eagle flies so high, way up in the sky, over the mountains and over the sea. Spirit of the eagle lives free, lives free.
Yes.
Oh.
Aho. In writing on that beautiful inspiration of the eagle, I would like to offer prayer into Tawa. Dear Wendy, it's been such a blessing. Dear little vase, it's been such a blessing to be part of this journey from the beginning, from the clay to the firing, to the sending, to the waiting, to the receiving, and now to the earth. And I want to offer my breath into the vase. May the transformation of the human perception of our relationship with Gaia change rapidly, swiftly, like the wings of the eagle. May our hearts open to the true knowing of how we are nurtured and all that is given to us every day of our lives. Aho.
Alexa?
Mandala, I wanted to share on behalf of the crested blue jay who was just squawking quite loudly outside my window with a clear message to share. I was hoping I might have the opportunity to unmute while it was still going, but he seems to have left now. But for a solid couple of minutes, just outside my window, quite loud squawking, and the message that came through very clearly to me is that he was sending his prayers in his language to the vase. And my human interpretation of how that message felt to me was a sense of unabashed embodiment in the practice, in the philosophies, and a sense of shouting things from rooftops with no shame and no fear of judgment or concern for disruption or uncivilized behavior. And so I pray that those of us who are walking awake will have the courage to be unashamedly ourselves, loudly, clearly, and to carry that torch. Yeah.
Thank you. Aho. We still have time if anyone would like to come forward with their voice, with their prayer. Well, perhaps we are complete with sharing our voices, but let's take 1 minute.
I see one hand being raised. Martha, would you like to share?
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Rosie.
Oh, I see. I just wanted to add a prayer that I'd like to see the same network of deeply penetrating vases that represent so much sacred thought, activity, love, devotion, work, community, consciousness, respect for Gaia, I'd like to see that same growing network happen in a parallel way in the human community, so that as individual vessels, we might also receive deep, abiding messages of prayer, respect for Gaia, willingness to take responsibility for her welfare and our interdependent welfare unto infinity. May it be so.
May it be so.
Susan?
All this technology. So I'm very glad for the vases that are being buried and the one that's going to be buried in the backbone of Mother Earth here. And actually, I was thinking, I remember I heard a story that before we came to Earth, we weren't quite sure that we wanted to come, but then Creator said, well, you know, they have music there. So then they were like, okay, I can do it. So here we are. And so I just want to add love from my heart. And sometimes words can't even you can't even have the words to express your true feelings and what's in your heart. So sometimes you just live from your heart without the need for words. And sometimes you bring in a little music. So actually this was created by an Ojibwe man, this flute. And so I got it from him. And when my father had died, he gave me this, and also did they did a drum circle with a eagle whistle. So that was very special. But anyway, so I'm going to put the energy of the eagle whistle into the vase and a little energy from this flute. So just a little taste. Thank you to everyone who's here tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Stacy?
Thank you. I just want to say thank you. Offer gratitude first for Mother Earth. And today I was just reading about how it's the 4 elements of earth, water, air, and fire that combine in unity to create the quintessence, or the 5th, which is the union of all 4 that creates all of life. And that animated spark that's in alchemy called the lapis, or the philosopher's stone. And we get to have this great blessing of eagle's wings, bringing that spirit into the air, into the atmosphere, into this beautiful earth, and the presence of this space that contains that. So offering the love of every heart combined together, woven together with these beautiful threads of light that are honoring Mother Earth and this beautiful gift of an ensouled world that she holds for us, but as sacred. Just remembering that sacred nature that we don't often get to shout about from rooftops and say, I love the earth and I love each of you here present today and those watching. And I just would like to infuse hope and beauty and joy and love and light into this beautiful vase, and may it spread. May it take root. May it illuminate every particle and every aspect of this beautiful gift of life. So thank you, Mama Earth, and thank you everyone here. May we be able to sing that beautiful song and have the vision of the eagle and root ourselves deeply in the soil of this amazing planet, this holy star, as Pat McCabe calls it. I love that, this holy star. Thank you. Blessings. Aho.
Thank you. Mm.
Yes, Cynthia?
No, I've been sitting here quietly listening and observing and taking in and just wanting to share my voice and say thank you to everyone here. Your presence is an offering. And all of the prayers that have been spoken here or felt, whether not spoken, are contributing to that awakening that we speak of, that we intend, that we wish for. And it's, you know, in these moments, it's happening because we're it. We are it. We are embodying that. And when we pour our offerings and our prayers and our love into these little holy vessels, they take root in like those little roots that Kat described in the hole with the feathers. And they go out and they ripple out. And I'm struck by the vase ceremony that you described, Kat, Liza, and Laurelyn. That was the first of the vases of this third generation that we crafted with Marian Naranjo to be buried on Turtle Island. There have been others buried in North America from previous, we call them generations of the vases. This is the first one of this third generation that has had such a strong prayer for the healing of the connection to the indigenous peoples, those who have come before us colonizers. And so thank you for placing that vase as you did at the shores of the Lake Michigan, and for all the animals who came to bless your activity, for your sisterhood in coming together and proceeding as you did so beautifully on behalf of all of us and all of the web of life and the whole mandala, you know. And I feel in this moment, listening, that somehow there's this, you know, connection between the vases. And somehow you're having planted that one in those sand dunes like a turtle digging its nest in Turtle Island, can facilitate Wendy's vase being planted in that high mountain range where Alberta and British Columbia are so close together. And the spine of Mother Earth connecting all the way down into South America, bringing connection to that ley line, you know, that runs, that spine. And I was remembering too, we have a treasure vase buried in the heart of the world in Colombia. We have a treasure vase buried in the heart of Africa in Congo. We have a treasure vase buried in the sacred place where life began, which is the Gwich'in lands in Alaska. So many of these places are characterized by the, you know, their I don't know how to say it. They're part of the body of Earth, you know, their body part. And so here's the spine. And it reminds me too of the Nilotic meridian in Africa, where we had a treasure vase at the north and the south being at the Blythe River Canyon, at the base in South Africa, and the north at the Great Pyramids. And that connecting that whole meridian. So what Wendy is intending for her is to connect through the flight of the eagle and the meeting of the condor, and as so many of you have described tonight in your prayers, you know, like, let it be so, may it be so, that these connections are made, that the song lines and the meridians are activated, carrying our prayers, carrying our love, carrying that which we know in our heart of hearts is what is needed in the world today for healing, for protection, for renewal, for peace. Now, this backbone, I guess, is the word that was used, the backbone. Well, let's feel that backbone now in our own bodies, being strengthened, as we say in the guided meditation, which Stephen beautifully led tonight, being strengthened and revitalized all around this beautiful blue-green planet that we call home. And may our own spines and backbones be strengthened. One of you spoke about going to the chiropractor. Was that you, Ellen? Somebody? No. I went to the chiropractor today too. And so we are working on it in our own ways. And I just am so grateful for each of you showing up month after month, year after year. We keep it up. We don't stop. This is what the Gaia is calling for us to do, to offer. And so all of you who are helping to keep it going now, adding your breath, this too is a way to carry our prayers, to keep them alive, breath to breath, heart to heart, tears into the little vessels. Thank you all so very, very much. May the love continue to strengthen our spines and fill our hearts and carry us where we need to go. Allahu.
Allahu.
I feel to share into the vase an emergent story on the face of our blessed planet, a story that is occurring in Colombia, where I share with you from a president has been elected that has begun to publicly honor the wisdom of the indigenous peoples, which is completely unheard of. Before he took his place. He went to the heart of the world. He went to the lands of the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, and he sat receiving the honor and the calling for forgiveness. Particularly was one of the last words that he shared when he took his place a few days ago this Sunday. A young girl shared with him that she wanted him to feel the change starting from within himself, a call for reparation and forgiveness to course through his veins in feeling the pain of her people. And so I share this story and share these words from this young Arhuaco girl, that forgiveness for ourselves and for our implication in what is occurring in our world, and for each other. May that forgiveness open up the way forward, and may this story reach Tawa and Wendy as a manifestation of the healing that is being activated by Tawa and by Wendy's walk, and is already occurring.
Wow. Wow.
And I think John is showing us a rainbow that is arising by the Mother of Wisdom.
It is a great rainbow. Thank you for noticing. It is a blessing. It is a confirmation. It is an affirmation. Our prayers are good. Our prayers are strong.
Thank you, John. Thank you for sharing this rainbow. Down here, there are myths about a rain ring, where the rainbow meets within the center of the earth, connecting all of us.
Wow.
Karen, did you wish to share?
I love to share, and thank you so much. There's no words. It is just this.
Thank you. There's a few minutes left, and I see Karen's hand raised. Did you want to share, Karen?
Your story, Rasul, of the shift that is happening in the heart or the womb, or however you want to, the body part that represents Colombia, just an acknowledgement that it was in Alberta that only 2 weeks ago we had a similar shift by having Pope Francis deeply, deeply apologize to the indigenous people for the sins of the Catholic Church for the last 500 years with the doctrine of discovery and so on. And he was so vulnerable and so open-hearted, and he is respected by so many millions and hundreds of millions of people, that to see that is happening, that just happened in the land that he apologized to, and I say the land and the people he just apologized to, that is all in that area that Wendy is in right now. And so that land is doubly infused with this intention made manifest, not only at the spiritual level and kind of on the margins of what people start paying attention to, but we are talking about the pinnacles of what shows up on our front pages of our newspapers. It is happening, and is absolutely infusing what Wendy is doing right now, is that same realization that it is happening right now.
Thank you, And Maggie and Ava, I see your hands raised.
Just to add that a similar impulse is now happening here in Australia with the election of a new Prime Minister who deeply is seeking to implement Uluru Statement, peace, reconciliation. So it is here as well.
Wow. Yay. Mm.
Michelle?
I kept having a sense during the prayer, and still do, and hearing, it's reflected in so many ways in what you all are sharing and sensing also, this the backbone as the protector of the highway of communication in a human being, the nervous system, and as we stand with feet rooted on earth and heads and arms up rooted in heavens, we are the structure through which the communication happens. And so rather than going to structures that hold power and say we do things this way or that, I'm so grateful this happened 2 weeks ago, that there was forgiveness asked, even though certain things weren't rescinded, but the power, the structure is in each of us to be the exchange between heaven and earth. And I pray this Tawa is part of this healing that we wake up to in our bodies, in the body of the mother.
Mm. Wow. Mm. Mm.
Ellen, I think there might be a few moments to share one last prayer if you'd like to.
I just want to add to all this hopefulness. Many of you might know, but maybe not all of you. Where I live, the Yurok have just released the condors back into the wild. And that fits with all those prophecies about when the eagle and the condor fly together. It will be the beginning of peace.
Mm. Oh. Oh. Mm.
I would like to add a prayer for the children, that we should come to a threshold of peace where they have to suffer no more.
Mm.
Where love will be the law and truth will be the ground, and parents will awaken to kindness and love towards their children, and not teach them through torture, but through kindness. Good to hear your voice, Cynthia. I'm so glad you're with us here.
So to draw our ceremony to a close, Stephen will share words of the dedication of merit.
Thank you. For as long as the earth remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, may these earth treasure vases too remain, to dispel the miseries of the world. Through the merits of this practice, may all beings live in peace and harmony. May there be no more war or conflict, and may all hearts be filled with compassion.
Oh.
Mm. Mm. Thank you, Blessed Circle, for being present tonight.
Ellen, could you say where you are?
I live in Humboldt County, and the Yurok live mostly up by the Klamath River. Not only did they release condors, but they've also gotten the Klamath undammed. And so that's also exciting.
Alalaho.
What state is that, Ellen?
Oregon. Yeah, in Oregon.
No, it's Northern California.
Oh, are you in Northern California?
Close.
Okay.
It's really close to Oregon, but not quite.
Right. It's at that boundary that's not really a boundary. Yeah. Yay. Well, beautiful month to all of you, and we hope to see you on the next full moon.